Xorn, you have a new master now. You're fortunate you cannot smell the human dung and rotten metal in this room, Mr. Sublime. Xorn has been here in Fang 2 for over half a century. Lead eye shades. Beneath the visor, he has no longer a face. Do you understand? You're done with the specimens?
My people only wanted the little critter's hands, laser eyeballs in her palms. Can you believe that? I don't know the other youngster. Maybe he just got mixed up in this by mistake. Use them both for the test if you want.
The bureaucrats in Beijing never understood Xorn's potential. Fastened deep into bedrock, this monster could have powered 10,000 communist super cities. He was kept alive only because they imagined he might be turned loose as a doomsday soldier in some future conflict with the enemies of the Republic. This is what a 3-second exposure to the face of Xorn does to a living being. The demonstration is concluded, and with it your tour of the Fang 2 facility. I hope you're satisfied.
Very much so, Mr. Ao Jun. I think you and I have a deal. As for Xorn, I have a feeling it's only the head we'll need. But we'll take him off your hands, too. To Hong Kong, then, Mr. Ao Jun.
So tell me, Scott, what's all this I hear about your vow of celibacy? Your poor wife's loss is shared by the world's eligible women. Believe me. I'd be flattered by the attention, but I can't help remembering all the times in the past when you tried to kill us, Emma. What are you doing here, with the X-Men? I deserve sympathy for the sins of my sordid past, not scorn. Those were difficult days. I was probably very confused and out of my mind on drink or drugs. It's not always about good and evil, Scott, dear. Your X-Men are currently the only credible alternative to a world where mutants are simply ghettoized, persecuted, and exterminated.
Hey guys, lighten up. We're going to a funeral.
Since the 50s, when the first of the atomic generation mutants began to appear, the mainland Chinese government has unofficially enforced what you might call a hardline stance on Homo superior. Translation: X-gene carriers tend to get murdered at birth. Meanwhile, Professor Charles Xavier outs himself as the mutant Gandhi, opens X Corporation offices in Hong Kong, Amsterdam, Mumbai, and Melbourne. The X Corporation is me, Gloria Dolores Munez, a.k.a. the Glamorous Risk, a Cerebra connection and a mandate to monitor mutant rights violations in, and I quote, Asia.
Domino, when did Gloria die? What happened here?
2 weeks into the big adventure, Gloria uncovers evidence of an illegal trade in mutant organs from the mainland. Evidence, in this case, being the testimony of a drunk with fins, which was usually good enough for her. She could implode things with her mind. The police figured she must have used it in self-defense. This is one of the people who killed her in the car park of Sublime Farm Solutions. We came to pay our respects, Beatrice. If there's anything else we can do, you know, the deeper I look, the wilder it gets. We're talking links to a high-ranking Red Chinese army officer and a radical self-esteem cult masterminded by a pharmaceutical company CEO. I'm in over my head. So, what kind of lunatic would attempt to graft mutant organs onto human tissue?
Haven't any of you ever felt special? Haven't any of you wished others could see the super potential you know you have inside? Then maybe you're one of the third species, like me. Maybe you're a mutant soul born in a frail, powerless human body, afraid to express your needs. My best-selling book gives a voice to the people who have decided to transcend their species orientation. At the white-hot moment where today becomes tomorrow stand the You-Men, beings like you or I, but better. Jan, Beiro, and Harriet here call themselves Homo Perfectus, the self-mutated.
We live in a world where new developments in spare parts cloning and cosmetic gene surgery are making it possible for people like us to cross the bridge between man and mutant. We demand the right to use these techniques to better ourselves.
and until the day our demands are recognized, we refuse to touch the soil or breathe the air of this fallen world. We want to be mutants too, and live in a better world than this one. Society has come to accept tattoos, piercings, and other body modifications. Why not accept this?
This makes a delightful mockery of Charles Xavier's mutant rights charter. Our beloved headmaster has opened the floodgates to every lunatic with an outrageous demand and a publishing deal.
Face it, friends, the third species is here to stay.
Allow me to offer an opinion. Scott Summers has a king-size bug all the way up to his duodenum.
You're way off base, darling. He just got back from being taken over by one of them forces of evil we come face to face with every now and again. There's nothing funny about being taken over, and right now he's clinging to sanity with his teeth gritted so hard the beams are shooting out his ass. He's clenched so tight, when he farts only dogs can hear it. But you can trust that king-size bug with your life. Who's this old guy I'm looking at, and how many of him are there?
Wait, let me get this contact lens menu online. Zoom, 2 blinks. Okay, that's Ao Jun. He's our Chinese army connection. Get this, for official worst mutant gift ever. Hair, skin flakes, dandruff, anything he sheds grows into a short-lived, briefly conscious, totally naked Ao Jun golem.
Some people get all the breaks. So, you need some company after this gig?
Can't hide from the man with hypersenses, huh? No strings, animal passion, Logan. And you're paying for the drinks.
The professor hands out platinum credit cards to his teaching staff.
First things first, honey. Ninja business.
Take care. There's a smell of death down there.
All this money! I've become a capitalist, Mr. Sublime. My fantasy is to have 2 white girls wrestle in crude oil until they suffocate like gulls on the beaches of Kuwait.
Mine is worse. I won't go into what I get off on.
Cleared with the necessary. Authorities in Beijing are only too happy to accept your discreet solution to our great nation's mutant surplus. They are coming to terms with possibilities the Communist Party under Mao never understood or foresaw.
I love a party. Let's join the throng, Mr. Ao Jun.
Logan, he's buying the keys to some frozen tundra real estate in Ningxia province.
Bia, you there?
Give me a second, Logan. I just realized something obvious. Ao Jun is old and Ao Jun is flaky.
Take him down!
Whoa, laser function 3 blinks. I nearly shot my own left nipple off, but sanity and a steady eye won in the end. 14th floor. Security. I'm disabling entry alarms for 30 seconds. You're free to come in anytime you... Logan?
Zorn's keys will be safe here. This combination can't be broken. The computer reads our bioelectric patterns, turns them into code, and then creates a unique combination based on our personal crackle. See, we can duplicate mutant gifts when we try.
Do you really believe you can turn humans into mutants? These human, they live in agony. I've heard stories in the media of grafts being rejected.
You mistake agony for its close relative, ecstasy. I'll be back shortly. We have one last donor to see downstairs. Hong Kong must seem very different from your usual haunts, Mr. Ao Jun.
Yes, Hong Kong has a modernity I find lacking in the barren wastes of Ningxia. What are you, an idiot? Forgive me for one moment. The eyes of Ao Jun reveal a stranger in our midst. Who is that man?
And the guy says, "Do you have any idea what this flag stands for?" I said, "Flag." I thought it was toilet paper. And then we started to fight. And then he was in bits.
This is a private function, and I don't remember you from the guest list. You speak Cantonese very well for an American, mister.
I'm a Canadian, bub. You won't find me on your guest list because my friend is here to steal your valuables. And me, I'm just the distraction.
Thank you, Logan.
Stand away. The eyes of Ao Jun command you.
Yeah, right. You are so horribly and absolutely dead. The Wolverine is coming to get you. Woo! They really can't see us, can they? The car's invisible, and all eyes are on the noisy robbery upstairs. Did any of you ever meet Risk? Shh. Below the concrete, little mind whimpers of suffering. Farm solutions. Below us. Beast?
At your service. Emma's right. I can still smell the blood. Risk died right here. Chemicals, antiseptic. It's here. There's some kind of concealed entrance.
Okay, no time for finesse, Hank. Everybody get back.
Smells bad, Scotty. And it looks even worse. This place is being converted into some kind of processing station. You better get in here fast. I've just found the little corner of hell that Dante forgot to write about. Oh, Scott, get in here. Oh, no.
Help! They took my wings away.
Get the keys out of the safe. I'll cover you.
It's done, Logan. It's all done. The safe combination was exactly the same as my ex-boyfriend's telephone number. Guess I'm just lucky.
This good luck power. If we just threw ourselves out of the window up ahead, everything would work out fine for you, wouldn't it?
My mutant gift didn't come with a rulebook. I might hit concrete 10 floors below. But I've been looking for a crazy man to kill the boredom, Logan. After you.
It is your lucky night, darling. It's okay. I'm sorry I don't speak Chinese, but you're all right now. Scott, I'm bringing her out. She's losing blood and she needs to get on an operating table fast. Reload with poison tips. Finish him. Harvest what we need for the organ stores, and we're out. I'm breathing air! I'm breathing air! The tainted air of the fallen world!
Yes, you are, aren't you? I wonder if your nasty Auntie Emma can do something about that. Organic diamond drill, frail human skull. Talk or I'll let air all the way into your spinal cord, darling. They're vivisecting organs here in Hong Kong. John Sublime's pharmaceutical company is a front for an illegal operation to turn humans into mutants. The world gets lovelier every day. We can't prove that Sublime's involved, I realize that, but we can kill him. Let's examine some other options first, Emma. We know this guy paid for 1,000 acres of Ningxia province in China, and these keys to something kept in a Cold War internment camp. It's not about proof. It's not about human laws at all. The most important thing was to get hold of something we could telepathically scan for real information. Emma? I'll try, but I hope you all realize this could take hour upon tedious hour to establish a connection with, Oh. Xorn. His name is Xorn. 2 days after he reached puberty, his brain was incinerated by a microscopic sun. He survived. He should have been a genius, a healer, a Buddha. But he was born in the wrong place at the wrong time, so they built an iron prison around him. Without sunlight, without human contact, chained in a metal cellar, somebody died in the room next door. Enough! Enough! I've had quite enough of these painful emotions. I have no telepathic powers in diamond form, and no empathy, no compassion, just a cruel sense of humor and a cold, hard heart. So what's Fang 2? It's from mythology. It's the capital city of hell, and I can get up on my own, so please take your hand off my left buttock, Wolverine. The girl died on the table. She'd lost too much blood. Can we stop this? Jane? Are you there? It's Scott, in Hong Kong. I can almost see you. I can see you too. Some weird churned-up thoughts in there, Scott. Did someone die? Who's Xorn? You can download the whole thing from my memory when I'm sleeping, Jean. We've uncovered some pretty nasty mutant rights abuses here. Is Emma behaving herself? She's on your mind. Emma, I'm keeping my good eye on all of them, Jean. We're heading into China tomorrow, so be ready for me to yell for backup. Love you. Good night. Who's there? I couldn't sleep after the traumas of the day. Tell me more about the world of chastity, Scott.
We'll have this place up and running as an organ farm before you know it, Aljun. Get some color in. Maybe cheer up the place.
Xorn escaped once in 1969. It took us 2 whole weeks to subdue him. As a punishment, they rebuilt Fang 2 around him where he fell, using the fragments of the original. To punish me after my herbal gene suppressant wore off in the midst of it all, I was made his jailer. Why do you want to be like us? Mutant lives are short and fearful, or worse, long and fearful.
Mutants will inherit the earth. Lord knows I'm prepared to adapt. But my body has trouble accepting the tissue grafts. My throat implants are fine, but the rest, well, my back is in constant pain. But one day I will fly. One day I will fly.
Now our deal is done, and Xorn is... I fear the star in his skull has grown old and sick along with Xorn.
What have you done to him, Aljun?
Mr. Sublime, sir, I used to be a keen amateur astronomer before I got my implants. If he's swallowing light like that, there could be a micro-black hole in his skull.
Well now, wouldn't that come across as a completely insane turn of events? What's going on here?
There's no key. It's a note.
I can see it. We are the X-Men. Boo.
So we're allowed to do stuff like this now?
We just did, Logan. Let's see who complains. Which one of you creeps is ready to own up to killing Dolores Munez?
You betrayed me, Aljun, after everything. Of course I betrayed you. Here is my revenge on a world that locked me under the ground with this incoherent monster. Last night I fulfilled all my fantasies. Today I die happy. Beijing dies with me, and all the world dies with me.
What a freak. Feed him to Xorn. Let's keep this going as long as we can, and hope the mutants fix it up.
Can anyone tell me what's going on in this room? We think that's his event horizon, the point at which nothing can escape the gravity of his brain. There's nothing where his thoughts should be, ideas, identity, sucked into the emptiness. Get out of there, Emma. He's not a machine. He's not a black hole. He's a living being, and he's preparing to commit suicide. We have to talk him out of it. Talk him out of it? There are moments in your company, Scott, when I feel touched by the presence of sheer insanity. The only one among us who can speak Chinese is Logan. Stop sniveling, you pathetic, self-important man. It's no use. I can feel the gravitational pull of his head in my womb. His event horizon is expanding. I said talk to him. You're telepathic, Emma. Find the nearest Chinese speaker and rewire my language centers through theirs, so that I can talk to him. I bow to the master of diplomacy. There, Chinese. Ha! Xorn, come back to us. I have a proposition for you. Your old life is over. There's a whole new world out there, and I think you can help us make it better and safer. Think of this in basic physics terms. You just have to shed some of that gravity to come back to us.
What's he shh?
In 60 seconds, the human black hole in that room will consume mainland China. After that, we have about 2 minutes to evacuate the planet Earth. Don't worry, Scott's very good with the depressed. It's not so hard to lighten up. Think about all these theories would suggest that when a black hole collapses into itself, it becomes a white hole somewhere else in space-time. Imagine what you could do. Imagination is the only thing which can survive a gravitational collapse.
I could have built heaven on earth, if only they'd let me. I could have laid the foundation stones of paradise here on earth.
There's still time if you want it. I think these belong to you, Mr. Xorn."
How strange. The world seems so much smaller than I remember.
7 little words, one awful concept, unknown, insanely powerful mutant on the loose. He's not loose. He just accepted my offer of a job with the X-Men.